AskRe by Junior Garlic 6053. Non-American people, what's a thing that you don't understand about America? Does every worker have to file their own taxes, or am I just confused? You're not confused. It's a pain in the ass. Scottish person here, but the work always available for work culture. Minimal vacation time, minimal maternity paternity leave, and the fact you can pretty much just be let go. It makes me sad to think about it. But I do love that you guys cram so much into your time off. You guys love a road trip. Most Americans don't like it either. The erosion of unions beginning in the 80s really fucked a lot of us. I think there has been a big shift in culture around that, since millennials have reached their middle age, and because COVID encouraged a lot of people to rethink their lives. I think we will see positive progress on this issue in the next decade. What is up with homeowner associations? Why would you pay to let a nosy neighbor sorry, dictate what you can and cannot do on your own property? I understand living in an apartment block and paying maintenance fees etc, but in a suburban home? The amount of national parks. My dream came true in 2017 to make an RV trip southwest of USA. Yosemite blew my mind away. Edit, typo. The national parks system and the ADA are some of the US's greatest accomplishments. How you can say the word mirror without the use of any vowels. MRRRRRR. I certainly hope that someone reading this knows what I'm talking about, but there's a funny ass video of a kid from Baltimore that reads this script in a Baltimore accent and freaks himself out pronouncing all the words the same. It's so funny because the look on his face when he realizes it is priceless, and he says, "Damn, do we really talk like that?" If anyone knows what I'm talking about, the words are something like errands, ironed errands, or something similar. It's fucking hilarious. Why everything is just so damn supersized. My first time in America, I went to get iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I ordered a large and my friend is like, "Are you sure you want large?" "Yeah, no biggie." In the UK a large is not overwhelming, I feel, so I was expecting the same kinda thing. Oh my god, it was like a goddamn bucket of coffee. I think maybe a small would have been equivalent to the UK large. Lesson swiftly learnt. Edit. Wow, lots of replies. I had no idea you guys didn't get vacation days, and that sucks so hard for you. The large portions weren't an inherently bad thing. I really felt in the 2x I've been to America that I totally got my money's worth when eating out. You guys even give free popcorn or breadsticks at the table. It was just a bit of a culture shock, I guess. In the UK, for example, certain coffee shop chains don't even offer a large iced latte because of sugar content, so the size is capped medium. There's a restaurant near me that has a size called Route 44, which is 44 ounces. For conversion, that's just over 1,300 milliliters. I would like to say I don't regularly drink those, but how you have to share a room with some complete rando when you go to college. Rondo number 1 ran a hair perming business from our tiny room. The chemical fumes were awful. Rondo number 2 hid her boyfriend in our room while he was evading police warrant for his arrest. Rondo number 3 let her friend sleep in my bed any night I was away. Rondo number 4 threatened to kill me while I slept, because she was mad I took my TV home. I'm not a fan of this system. Ended up being an RA to get a private room. Edited for formatting. Why they make you calculate your own taxes, if they know what you owe at? Because companies like TurboTax and AMP, our block use the profits they make from charging us to file our taxes to lobby politicians into making policies which prevent the government from just telling us how much we owe, even though the government knows exactly how much we owe, so that we need to pay companies like TurboTax and AMP, our block to file our taxes. I'm American, but I've worked with a lot of people who aren't. The one thing they always wonder is why Americans are so obsessed with the NFL. They think it's a boring sport. They explained you wait for 30 seconds, they hike the ball, you get about 5-10 seconds of action. Then you wait another 30 seconds, another 5-10 seconds of action, then commercial break. We live for those 5-10 seconds and spend the rest of the time complaining about the ads. No NFL car football fan in existence likes the ads. MMDDYYYY. The tipping culture is so foreign to me. I would be so scared to make a mistake or not tipping enough if I ever go to America, because it's not something which is common here in Denmark. I'm fed up with the tipping culture. So stupid. Every place has a tip option now. My mom is from Moscow during the Soviet era, and she is confused why there is no teacher-student hierarchy. She thinks it's weird when teachers participate in school plays or speak to students informally. She also does not get pajama day. To her, it's just the weirdest thing in the world. In Russia, there is an important distinction between clothes for home and clothes for outside. They have a concept of home clothes, like your cozy or ugly clothes, that you are supposed to change into after school or work. At bedtime, you change out of your home clothes into pajamas. As a result, pajamas, for both adults and children, are considered extra private in Russia. My mom perceives pajama day as something extreme like wearing only undergarments to school. That's how private pajamas are considered to be in Russia. Am from Russia, can confirm. I had recurring nightmares of going to school in my sleepwear because I forgot to get dressed for some reason. Then I learned people actually do that on purpose. I still can't imagine doing that even after living in Germany for 20 years. Oh, and the concept of home clothes is rather foreign to a lot of people here as well. Another American thing I don't get is wearing shoes in your house. You heathens. Why is that one Kansas, but the other one is not Arkansas? America, explain. What do you mean it's Arkansas? Because we used to speak French Creole in that region. I don't know if that's true, but that's my best guess. Edit. I looked it up and I was correct. Arkansas is the French pronunciation of a Native American tribe. I'm English, was born with cerebral palsy. I can walk but with a very noticeable limp. I came to America to visit friends who moved here. Everyone was so friendly, hardly anyone commented on me disability. If they did, it was just polite questions, not making fun of me. I loved it here, so much so I've been here for 23 years. For all of America's faults in recent years, the people here are just way more accepting of people in general. Edit. I am truly touched by everyone's kind words and questions. Truly Reddit can be a great place when we all get along. Americans, to our credit, actually deal with disability access issues. We're not perfect. There are a lot of old buildings that haven't been retrofitted to accessibility standards, and there's still some stigma around disability. However, we're also keenly aware that the day will come when we're not going to move as well, or our mental faculties will fail us, or we'll go blind and or deaf. And we'd like the adjustment to be easy and dignified. The natural confidence. The ability to take your own space, in a positive and refreshing way. I come from Sweden, where I feel that kind of mentality is more uncommon, with a more tentative and ironic manner. I'm Swedish but moved to the US while fairly young for school, and honestly people on the bus in Sweden are terrified of me because I make eye contact and sometimes talk to them. Why tax is not included in the price tag? It even gets more annoying for businesses. I have to go through all invoices and receipts quarterly and find any purchases where we weren't charged sales tax and go voluntarily pay it to my state. Pain in the butt. Removed. This is also why landowners in oil and gas-rich states lease their lands to oil companies and make $$. Removed. American here. Way back when the first Matrix sequel came out, we were in the theater on opening night. Some dude's phone rang during the movie, and he answered and started talking. Entire theater collectively told him to STFU. The guy stands up and starts walking out while carrying on the convo, and as he does, He loudly says OOOOS or IF or RUIA90 he matrix and people pelted the guy with popcorn and one nicely aimed cup of soda. I do not understand why Americans are portrayed to be very racist and discriminating in most news or media around the world. I got to work for a couple of months in DC and prior to arriving, I was expecting to be racially discriminated against, I'm Asian, because of the things I see on the news. I was blown away by just how friendly and accepting the people are in general. Folks would just be striking random conversations with me while I'm crossing the street and wishing me a good day. Even if I spoke with an accent, people didn't mind and just talked to me as if they were speaking to another American. In all honesty, I felt more accepted by Americans as compared to fellow Asians when I visited Japan, Hong Kong, Korea, or Thailand. And off topic, but the original Chick-fil-A sauce is seriously delicious. I took a couple of bottles home because they were so good. The racists are a loud minority, and the media gives them a microphone. There's a lot. But I visited the US for the first time in December, and one thing that stood out to me, billboards. All along the highway. Billboards everywhere. Most of them for scummy looking lawyers. Why this? That was how advertising was done before the advent of the internet. Car culture plus commute equals views. They still exist, so they are kind of secondary advertising. Buc-ee's does this by telling you how far the next one is to get you excited to stop. Why most of the shower heads are glued to the wall. How on earth do you wash your twats? You make a soapy twat cup with your hands to catch the water. The amount of sugar in everything. It's so very much. Post-depression era food industry set the precedent, the sugary stuff sells better. Why do Americans put their TVs so high up the wall? I understand that sometimes it's because there's a fireplace below where it should be, but how do they even watch the TV without straining their necks? We slouch. Removed. AWW. This makes me feel so good, unlike the rest of this thread. I'll buy you a burger and milkshake anytime. Deleted. Man, it was a Joey heavy episode anyway. Prescription medication adverts on television. Deleted. As an American, this makes me so happy. These days it is easy to feel disgruntled with our country, but this made me smile. It is so nice that you have found happiness, and I am so glad you are here. Why is there no East Virginia? Housing codes, and why all your front gardens are just grass, and identical. The front gardens thing, or front yard lawn as we call it, is also because of building codes lol. Typically houses have to be set back from the property lines a certain distance. Around me it's 30 feet for the front property line. So everyone builds right on that 30-foot line to maximize the backyard space, which is what Americans prioritize as their private outdoor space. The Americans are genuinely friendly and kind. Whenever I traveled there I had great experiences. We often see the business side of your vast nation on TV etc, but your average American is a pleasure to meet. I do find it odd that service industry workers aren't paid appropriately. Tipping really stresses me out, as I know it's not just a bonus for great service. Also, you lot deserve better healthcare. Why such good people as American citizens are governed by such assholes as American politicians. Good people don't want to be politicians. 10 vacation days a year. There's life outside of work. Vacation days aren't mandatory, not even 10 days. Florida. Yeah, we don't get it either. All the non-Americans saying how friendly Americans are have probably only ventured the cities. Next time try going to a small town, it will blow your mind. Had a friend visit a while back and was driving around town and he was shocked that we wave at each other. I'm American but from a city, and one time I went with my friend to visit his small hometown in northern Nevada. He hadn't been in like 10 years, and when he walked into the bar he used to frequent, it was like he was a guest star on an episode of Cheers. I'm American and I still don't understand why 5,280 feet is a mile. Mile is a measure from the Romans, mil passus, or 1,000 paces. Roman soldiers would count every time their left foot hit the ground, 1 pace, and after 1,000 of those they'd mark a mile. A pace for a Latin soldier was about 5 Roman feet, which comes out to 5,000 feet per mile. Later, in the Elizabethan era, the mile and the 660-foot furlong, a unit of measure derived from 1 furrow length in a field, were standardized together, with 1 English mile being defined as 8 furlongs, or 5,280 feet, the closest multiple to a Roman mile. Why women don't get paid maternity leave. I'm American but I don't understand why we don't let our cashiers sit while checking people out. It's like we're deliberately trying to make the lower class be in constant misery. It's so terrible for your back to stand in the same place for hours just to give customers the impression the employees are working hard. We all know you can work hard sitting down, let them sit. Someone once tried to argue that Aldi's lets them sit, but I had to break it to them. Aldi's was a German-derived grocery store, not originally American. Tipping culture. How people seem to be liberal or conservative and will support their side no matter what bad decisions they're making. In Ireland we frequently change allegiance in terms of political parties and support the ones that are doing the most for the people at that time. We are person-centered, not party-centered. I could never understand this about America. All it takes is a lot of rationalizing and deep echo chambers,